Greetings, it's Iain from RTO here. Welcome to a rather damp and miserable day. It's very dark still, and it's 8:30 in the morning. It's still dark, hence the lights. Anyway, today we have got the last part of the Bob Dylan story, and we're going to look at Bob Dylan's albums from 2010 up to the present time. He has released six albums in this period. So very, I don't know. This is an area of Bob Dylan's catalogue that I don't know very well, and after listening to them, I think I won't be either. As much as I like Bob Dylan, I think this is pretty groggy. I know it's a horrible thing to say, but they are pretty groggy, these albums. So, coming in at number 6 is the sixth one, and actually his most current album. He released it on June the 2nd, 2023, and it's called Shadow Kingdom, and it's actually his 40th studio album. The album consists of 13 new recordings from the first half of Dylan's career, plus an instrumental song titled Sierra's Theme. So playing on here, we've got Bob Dylan, Jeff Taylor, Greg Lease, Tim Pierce, T-Bone Burnett, Ira Ingber, Don Was, John Alvera, Doug Lacey, and Stephen Bartek. So you've got all these re-recorded songs. We've got When I Paint My Masterpiece, Most Likely You Go Your Way and I'll Go Mine, Queen Jane Approximity, I'll Be Your Baby Tonight, Just Like Tom Thumb's Blues, Tombstone Blues, To Be Alone With You, What Was It You Wanted, Forever Young, Pledging My Time, The Wicked Messenger, Watching the River Flow, All Over, It's All Over Now, Baby Blue, and Sierra's Theme, which is the best song on the album. There's no singing on it. Now the rest of the album, the songs are terrible. If you haven't got this, don't bother, because it'll break your heart. Remember these songs when they come out, not like this. This is just a very, very bad album in my books, and I've got to give it a 0 out of 10 because it's apart from that last track, the rest of the album is yeah. Okay, coming in at number 5. This is the fourth of this period. It was released in 2017, and it's called Triplicate. It's a triple album, and it's like his version of the Great American Songbook. There's 3 albums. So playing on here are Bob Dylan, Charlie Sexton guitar, Dean Parks guitar, Donny Heron on steel guitar, Tony Garnier on bass, and George Rosilli on drums. So these are just old songs we've got. I guess I'll have to change my plans. September's on my years. Not a bad effort, probably the best one on here. There's a couple of notes he missed. I could have told you he struggles on these songs. Once Upon a Time, Stormy Weather. It's not the best version of that I've ever heard. This Was Nearly Mine. Great Rodgers and Hammerstein thing, not very good. That Old Feeling, it gets lonely early, flat as a pancake, that is. The One That I Love, Trade Winds, Disc 2, Bragging As Time Goes Out by awful version, Imagination, How Deep Is the Ocean, P.S. I Love You, probably the best one on that one. The Best Is Yet to Come, But Beautiful, Here's That Rainy Day, Where Is the One, There's a Flaw in My Flu, Day In Day Out, we're on disc 3 now, I Couldn't Sleep a Wink Last Night, Sentimental Journey, Somewhere Along the Way, When the World Was Young. This Foolish Thing's one of the better songs on here. Got to Go to My Head, Stardust, probably the best thing on here. Best thing on the whole album, actually. It's Funny to be everyone but me when I was born. Why did he have to release this as a triple disc? I think you could have got away with just one album and throw away a lot of it. It's pretty poor. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 1 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 4, the third album of this period from 2016, and it's called Fallen Angels. Another album that consists of songs chosen by Bob from a diverse array of writers such as Johnny Mercer, Harold Arlen, Sammy Cahn and Carolyn Lee. So it's same people: Bob Dylan, Charlie Sexton, Stu Kimball, Dean Parks. Young at Heart, Maybe I'll Be There For You, Polka Dots and Moonbeams. It just doesn't sound right. All the Way, one of the better songs on here. Skylark is alright. Nevertheless, All or Nothing, On a Little Street in Singapore, that's not too bad. It Had to Be You, terrible version. Melancholy Mood, it's okay. That Old Black Magic, Come Rain or Shine, another hit and miss songs on here. He sounds very flat. I just didn't get into it. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 3 out of 10. Coming in at number 3, the second album of this period from 2015, and it's called Shadows in the Night, and it consists of traditional pop standards made famous by Frank Sinatra, chosen by Bob Dylan. Same, we got Bob Dylan, Daniel Ferrano on trumpet, and Tony Garnier on the bass, Larry G. Hall trumpet, Dylan Hart on the French horn, Donny Heron on pedal steel, Alan Kaplan trombone, guitar Stu Kimball, there's loads of people. So all these songs were recorded by Frank Sinatra. I'm a Fool to Want You, The Night We Called It a Day, Stay With Me, not too bad. That is an Autumn Leaves, it's alright. Try to Change Me Now, oh dear. Some Enchanted Evening, awful. Full Moon, Empty Arms, not too bad. Where Are You, What I'll Do, and That Lucky Old Sun, probably my favourite on here. It's a little bit better than the others, but it gets a bit monotonous in places. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 4 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 2, the fifth album from this period, from 2020, and it's called Rough and Rowdy Ways. And it's his first album of original songs since 2012. So the first track on here is called I Contain Multitudes. It's a nice song, the vocals alright. Oh, it's a nice little story song. I don't mind it. False Prophet, my favourite track on here. Now, because his voice is so groggy these days, when he sings a bluesy song like this, it does work. It's pretty good. My Own Version of You, don't like this. I do like the bass line though. The vocal is not very good. I've Made Up My Mind to Give Myself to You, not the best track. Very croaky. Black Rider, this sounds a lot much better. He's got a full band, sort of, so it sort of hides his flaws in his voice. Goodbye Jimmy Reed, my second favourite track on here. I think he sounds a lot better when he's got a full band these days. This is about the great Jimmy Reed. Mother of Muses, a little bit of a gentler track, and his verse isn't too bad. Crossing the Rubicon comes next. Not a bad track, although there's a couple of times he doesn't hit them notes. Key West Philosopher Pirate, it's 9 minutes long. It's too long, it's boring. I didn't like it. Then the second disc is Murder Most Foul, which is the only track on it. Again, it just becomes boring. Apart from the last 2 tracks on this one, it's not a bad album actually, but the last 2 tracks just meander. I wouldn't have bothered with them 2 tracks in my opinion, so I'm going to give that an RTO ranking of 6 out of 10. But the number 1 album of the 2010s onward is the first one that he released in the 2010s from 2012, and it's Tempest. This was his 35th album. So joining Bob on here is Tony Garnier on bass, Donny Heron on the steel and banjo and mandolin, David Hilgado on guitar, Stu Kimball on guitar, George Rossi on drums, and Charlie Sexton guitar. First track on here is a little thing called Dunesque Whistle. His voice is a little bit rough, but it suits the sort of thing. It's got a shuffle to it. It isn't too bad. Soon After Midnight comes next. I quite like this. It's a gentle song. It's not a bad vocal. It's not brilliant, but it's better. Narrow Way, one of my favourite tracks on here. It's a nice country sort of rocker, and again, once he's got a really good band behind him, his voice sort of sinks into it, and it's not so bad. Long and Wasted Years, his voice is so grotty on here, it just doesn't sound right. Paying Blood, this is where that rugged voice suits it. It really does. I don't mind that one. Scarlet Town, these long songs just don't suit him anymore. It just, there's lots of flat notes in it. It's not very good. Early Roman Kings, I do like this. It's my second favourite track on this one. It's got a nice sort of bluesy riff onto it, and his voice just suit this song. Then we have another. Why does he insist on doing long songs? Because it's just Tin Angel, 9 minutes, too long, bitty, boring. That's all I can say. And then what do we do next? We do a 13-minute song called Tempest. He sings flat all the way through it, and there's some. He tries to hit high notes, and it just didn't work. Roll On John, another long track. It just too long, boring. I don't want to hear this sort of thing. But I like these short songs from Bob now, not these long. He can't do them. I'm not being mean. It's just he can't do them. There's some good tracks on this, but the last 3 tracks for me are just filler and didn't need to be there. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 6.3. Yeah, not the best period for him, and as much as I like Bob Dylan, I think it's time, Bob, you hung up your boots and just be remembered for the great songs that you brought us and the stories of the songs. I've really enjoyed doing this, especially the early years, but as he's gone on, his voice has got bad, and then that's not because I feel bad, it's just natural, but hey ho. I'll just prefer his early stuff, I think. Okay, next week we will start another story, and you'll find out what that is on Thursday. Okay, coming up next, Perfect Song. We're going to do a bit of heavy stuff today. And I've always wondered, I thought, what Black Sabbath album can I do? And I thought, why not do the one that revived their career, and it's Heaven and Hell. So join me for that later. Bye for now.